The meditation is an ancient technique to peek into one's own mind. The purpose was self-realization. This self-realization is called moksha or nirvana. However, during the course of history, various miracles and powers are attributed to it. In modern times, it came under scientific scrutiny. The benefit of meditation is now well researched and documented by scientific community. It is now overwhelmingly advised as preventive and post-treatment procedure for psychiatric issues. Meditation is carried out through our body, brain, breath, and mind. The tools used for the process is concentration, consciousness, and prana. As things stand today, the science recognizes the role of body, brain, concentration, and breath. Moreover, the spooky concept of mind and consciousness, though considered as unscientific in the past, are now under active consideration of scientific community. For that, thanks to advancement in artificial intelligence and robotics. Now, what about prana? Science rejects it outright. Prana and anything related to it is unscientific and matter of ridicule. To understand meditation, we must know about brain, mind, consciousness, and prana. Let us take them one by one. An American medical doctor, Herbert Benson, and his team made extensive studies at Buddhist monasteries in the Himalayan mountain in 1970s. He coined the word relaxation response for the changes he observed in the body and brain of meditating sadhus. Since then, science has made considerable advancement in neurological field of science, but it is still an evolving science. It is known that brain activities are predominantly electrochemical and biochemical process. These processes gives rise to changes in electromagnetic field around the brain, which can be detected by instruments. Meditation induces changes in overall brain activity and structure. These changes are recorded during meditation and also post-meditation by instruments. Science agree that meditation stage is achieved by individual through his own mind and consciousness. It is assumed that the seat of mind and consciousness is brain. Changes in brain activities during meditation can be detected and measured by measuring the intensity, frequency, and changes in electrical wave types inside the brain. The immediate changes and also the short-term and long-term changes can be seen through brain scan, which are non-invasive method. Let us discuss three of them. EEG, that is electroencephalography. The instrument measures changing electrical potential in the brain with time. There are billions of neurons in the brain, each having its own electrical firing pattern for communicating with other neurons. The group of neurons with similar pattern generates electrical oscillation that can be measured as brain wave. Electrodes are placed on the skull to measure the changing potential. EEG measures the electromagnetic wave generated over the surface of brain by the cumulative activity of large number of neurons. However, the deeper regions of brain are inaccessible to it. To measure deeper regions, invasive methods are to be adopted. Next one is CT scan, that is computed tomography scan. This method uses X-rays to get detailed image of the brain. The third one is MRI, that is magnetic resonance imaging. It gives the map of the brain, which means that it gives the image that tells us how the brain looks like at a particular moment in time. It informs about the structure and tissues at a given point in time. Out of these methods, EEG is extensively used for detecting immediate changes in the brain activities. The scan like MRI and CT provides structural and tissue level imaging of brain. Now about brain waves. Different regions of brain generate different waves. Studies indicate the increase in alpha and theta wave activity during mindful meditation. Theta wave is generated mostly in front and middle section of the brain that is associated with relaxed attention. The alpha wave is dominant at back region of brain. Study also found increase in alpha wave during different types of breathing techniques. For example, in a type of breathing called Ujjayi breathing, there is increase in alpha wave and reduction in beta wave by about 30%. In 18th century, an Austrian neurologist, Sigmund Freud, and others like Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung have first made attempt to understand mind and consciousness during the course of their professional practices. Later, there are others who investigated the paranormal phenomena like extrasensory perception, which involves telepathy, prophetic dream state, out-of-body experience in near-death cases, and also homeopathy. All these unexplained phenomena were subjected to strict scientific scrutiny. The results were not encouraging because occurrence of such paranormal phenomenon are difficult to repeat under experimental conditions. And in statistical studies, the results are only marginally better than the pure chance. Well, the question is why we are trying to impose certain standard scientific tests on a phenomena that does not follow the law of science we know today. It is like firing a photon from a photon gun and expect it to move and hit the target as determined by Newton's law of motion. Here I am not suggesting that consciousness has something to do with quantum state. I simply mean that scientific laws are not universal, so do not apply them like mumbo jumbo to everything in the universe. In 1981, Robert Sheldrake, a biologist from United Kingdom, has given it a new twist through his hypothesis of morphic resonance. It can be inferred that mind and consciousness can exist at a level of DNA. Hypothesis also suggests that consciousness is not a singular entity within an individual. It is a field. There are layers of consciousness and they are connected instantaneously to other life forms situated far and wide. It is an interconnected consciousness and can be called morphic field. Well, while this research was going on in life sciences, the physical sciences and technology, on the other hand, was busy in imitating human brain. To imitate the function of human brain and intelligence, attempts was made in 1854 by George Boole. He invented Boolean algebra that connects mathematics and logic using binary number system of 0 and 1. Then in 1930s and 40s, the work of Claude Shannon, Alan Turing and others have led to making of first computer. Today, it has reached the stage of artificial intelligence. It is coming closer to mimicking the human brain. Artificial intelligence, also called AI, is the algorithm that make it possible for machine to learn from training and experiences, adjust to new inputs, and give it the ability to perform human-like tasks. Some are even trying to find consciousness in artificial intelligence. Today's AI rely heavily on deep learning similar to the neural network of human brain and natural language processing. Though it is somewhat a structured learning, yet as the complexity increases, there is a possibility of it becoming sentient. You see, in humans, emotions are the motivating and controlling force for decision making and action. On the other hand, in machine, at simple level, it is the software that make it possible. Maybe at complex level, it is a computing software and inputs that takes the decision and act. There is a fear and suspicion that will artificial intelligence creates its own learning structure. Humans learn and evolve themselves at their own. Question is, does any self-evolution by AI or community of AIs is sign of rudimentary form of consciousness? Meditation starts from concentration. It requires the help of mind and consciousness. The intent is to stabilize mind and make it free from stream of chaotic thoughts and emotions. There are two types of meditation. The focused meditation and the second is mindfulness meditation. Both are different techniques to reach meditative stage. Both types start with focusing. Focused ones stress on continuous focus on the object, while mindfulness insists on detached attention to focusing and allowing the mind to flow freely. However, finally, both ways led to a calm and peaceful state of mind. Now, the controversial subject, prana. Prana is the origin and source for the creation of the universe. Origin of universe is not entirely material in nature. There is life, emotion, thoughts, and feeling that the universe is made of. In material sense, we the humans are just flesh, bundle of senses and the brain. Our senses have limitations. For example, they can comprehend only 3 directions in space and single dimension of time. There can be worlds beyond this world where our senses cannot reach. Just consider this analogy. We know that the idea of world in which humans live is not the same for a dog, amoeba, or a bacteria. They perceive the world differently from the way we do. To them, things in the world means totally different to what it means to us. Amoeba and bacteria cannot even see us. So, what made us believe that the human with 5 senses and a superior mind is actually seeing and comprehending the real world out there? So, in reality, there are powers and much superior life forms that exist in nature. And for them, humans are no better than amoeba. And they are seeing much more of this world than we can. Worst part is that just like amoeba, we cannot even see these superior beings. Well, the crazy idea is not mine. Similar type of crazy analogy was put forward by Einstein to make us understand the general theory of relativity. A two-dimensional creature in two-dimensional world cannot readily comprehend that the world is actually curved and the time can be bent. In short, we can say that the actual world is same for each being. What makes it different is power of comprehension. And what differentiates between them as living being is energy of consciousness. That is prana. Prana comes primarily through breath. Getting oxygen to blood is not the only purpose of breathing. The prana, which is life force energy, is also drawn in during inhalation. It is the driving force for thinking, emotions, regeneration, and consciousness.